Well, hey there. Welcome to a special episode of Real WW Talk. I am Erin.
I'm Candice. And I'm Rikki.
And
Coach Michael G.
Hello. Hey!
I'm back.
We've got some breaking WW news. And we're like, we're calling up. We got people. We got people. We're calling.
Call the hotline, the blue phone, as it is, as opposed to the red phone.
We went to the WW room and made it from the pedestal.
Exactly.
And you answered. God bless you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited. I've been excited, and I'm not great at keeping secrets. I've had to hold this in for a very long time. And so I'm excited to start sharing with other folks what we have in store.
It's Christmas early. Yes.
It's Christmas a little early Hanukkah today. It'll be good. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's unwrap our first present from WW. What's the news, Michael G?
Well, it's been a minute since we have dropped any new program at all, right? And I think there are some things about this that will make it really special. And if anything, I'm hoping through this podcast and workshops this week, I can bring everybody's blood pressure down a little bit. I think you'll find all the changes to be great ones and value adds. And we're not taking anything away. I think that's the thing I want to lead with. Mm-hmm. Nothing's leaving. You're getting more for your buck.
That's such a great distinction too, because everybody like, oh, we know November is coming. There's a change. Right. And then we waited through November. They never make a change in December, and then wham. And so, that pulse is, oh, what do they change? What do they take away?
Well, and we've been teasing a little bit, trying to get people excited about it. And it's always funny to be like, I bet it's 0 point chocolate cake. And I was like, it's not.
No. That's why you're not losing weight.
Might be. Let's talk more about that. I think that there are folks, a lot of folks have been like, they're bringing back purple. No, we're not. No, purple's gone.
We want core.
Yeah, right. Well, and there's some good news there for us today. So we're unrolling a new list of 0 point foods, and it expands the number of proteins you have access to, the number of vegetables you have access to. It gives you some grains back as 0 point foods. We'll talk about that today. One grain that I'm particularly fond of. It also is going to give you back some different looks of the plan with some new tools as well. And it's not going to take any points from your budget. How's that sound?
Wow.
I feel like a used car salesman. What do I have to do to put you in this car today?
Sold.
Yeah, sold. So are you ready for the list of new zeros? Because that's the highlight of the program.
Yes.
We've got some new 0 point foods. We've done this for a few reasons. We're always testing. We're always in the lab looking for the next best thing. I think these zeros make our plan a little more culturally inclusive. We're adding some foods that are widely eaten in a lot more cultures than just the American Midwest. So we're looking at expanding to some zeros that are more important foods in certain cultures. They're also foods that are kind of just left of or to the right of things that were already zeros. So we looked at them and said, okay, this is not nutritionally significantly different. Can we make this a zero, and what will it do? And then it also, I think everybody right now at the grocery store is looking at that bill and going, I don't know, how much more turkey breast can I afford? So it also puts some things that are a little more cost effective back on the table as a zero. And I think you'll see that when we talk about those things today. So I feel I don't have a drum roll. All I have is a table here. So your points target is not going to change. We're not adjusting anybody's points target at all.
Okay.
So we're going to add back, and I don't want to miss anything, select cuts of dark meat of chicken and turkey.
Wait, well, hold up. Stop it. What? Are we talking chicken thighs and chicken legs?
Erin is cold.
Boneless, skinless chicken thighs are now 0 points.
Wow.
Skinless chicken legs would be 0 points as well. So you want to go through your list and check when your app updates this week. It no longer just boneless, skinless, tasteless chicken breasts. There's dark meat of poultry is available as a 0, as well as other lean meats, including lean cuts of pork, lean cuts of beef, and more.
Like the 93.7 ground beef?
Oh, no, 90-10, friend. 90-10 is...
Oh, my gosh.
Stop it.
I know. What are you going to do with all the money that's back in your pockets? So
I love that.
pork loin, and then don't forget too, like the ground chicken and the ground turkey that is also
93.7 and yeah.
less expensive are also going to end up being zero.
Stop it.
I mean, it makes sense. I know you're gonna keep going, but like I didn't get to the weight that I got to by eating too much 90-10 ground beef or
wasn't chicken thighs, friend. Wasn't chicken thighs. Yeah.
Right.
So if you look at those things, they are, I think, complementary to things that were already 0 points, right? And this includes like lean cuts of beef. A fillet can be a 0 point meal. So now wait, I'm going to build a whole steakhouse menu here for you for 0 if you hold on for just a second. So we're going to add to that list all starchy vegetables, including potatoes, parsnips, yucca, and more.
I'm sorry. Hold up. I'm sorry.
Potatoes. You get a potato. You get a potato.
White potatoes?
Oh, white
potatoes. Sweet potatoes.
Purple potatoes.
Purple potatoes. Whatever other color you can find a potato in. Now, and we'll talk about this again. When you add other things to recipes, right? The recipes keep the 0 point food 0. So while we know that deep frying a potato does not add to its health value, ultimately some things that have potatoes in them will be lower in points, right?
Sure.
So, but you still have to, if you deep fry potatoes, you have to count the oil it was deep fried in. So we still want to talk about baked or steamed or roasted potatoes, right? We still want to prepare them in the healthiest ways possible. But in terms of fiber and nutritionally, a potato is not that different than a turnip, which was already 0 before, right? So this is kind of looking and testing those foods that are close. And so those things. Now, I have one more. How about oatmeal? How do you feel about 0 point oatmeal?
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah. So that's
like
the other one.
Oatmeal was already fairly low.
It was. So, but if you think about oatmeal and popcorn or oatmeal and corn, similar, right? In terms of dietary fiber and other things. And so it's very similar.
Wait, so, popcorn is 0?
Popcorn has been 0.
It has been?
Air popcorn has been 0.
I think the popcorn like in the store ends up not being.
No, popcorn that has butter or has been popped in oil, but air popcorn has been 0 for some time.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
Now, you're going to want to look at your own individual plan as well, because if you're following the plan for people living with diabetes, some of these things are not going to be 0. You're going to get all the proteins, the extra proteins as 0.
Sure,
potatoes and oatmeal are not going to be 0. And we know why, right? Those people have to watch carbs in a way that the rest of us don't. So what this does is again, I think for some of us, it opens up some things that speak to who we are and how we grew up eating and things that are favorites. Those dark cuts of poultry and things like that, and the flavor that they bring and some of the options that they bring. A chicken thigh holds up in a slow cooker in a way that a chicken breast does not, right? So it gives us some options. And it also, I think for some of us, speaks to some of our favorites, things like oatmeal and potatoes and things like that. So those are the 0s that are going to be added. There are also some different tools that we're adding to.
Can I just ask one quick question?
You may, please.
Avocados, where are they? Are they still points?
They're still points, yeah. Okay. And I think avocados, when we test things like that, I think we have to be mindful a little bit of people being able to use those in appropriate ways. And that's the thing, right? When we
use avocado in appropriate ways. Right. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Right. When we make something a 0 point food, we're telling you this is a food that is a healthier choice. We're guiding you that direction. But when we're doing that, we also need to be responsible in saying that it's a food that we also believe you're going to eat an appropriate amount of, or that you're going to find a serving size that matches that health value. And I don't know if it's not true for me and avocado. Me and a bowl of guacamole from Chipotle, that's a bad romance, friend.
Right, that's what I mean. That's inappropriate there.
Not good. Not good. So we also, I want to let you know that there are some tools that are being added, and they in turn include adding macros to your My Day page. So many of your listeners have been loyally telling me in my workshops, I switched to the GLP-1 because I can see my protein and I am. Thank you for that. No, I'm glad that you help folks find it. That's fine. It's okay. And that's the one that I follow. but
Am
it's
I in
going
trouble?
to. No, you're not in trouble.
Okay.
I'm back.
I was trying to read his tone. He was like, "It's fine."
You did.
This is like your mother going, "Well, it's a choice.
Right.
It's a decision that you've made." No, it's great that people are using the whole app and finding things, but you're going to be able to see things like sodium and carbohydrates and protein as a total at the bottom of your day. And for people who have been asking for those things, it will be there. We also are going to add a recipe analyzer that will allow you to bring in recipes from the web and help you estimate the points without having to enter everything separately. We know that you guys are using recipes from all over the net. I do it too, right? We use more than one source. So this recipe analyzer is going to make that faster and easier so that you can cook what you want to cook. We value partnerships with other folks who are making healthy things and foods that work. So that's coming as well. And then there's also a photo scanner that allows you to track by photo. And we'll talk more about that once it's out. I've not had a chance to play with all of these things yet.
Is that photo scanner like an AI thing? Will it analyze it and then suggest it and then put the points with it?
I'm a little softer on this because I haven't gotten to play with it. I'm waiting for the app update on some of these tools like everybody else is. I'm just today able to talk to you guys about the zeros because it's launched in workshops. So it's I think it's really a lot of it we're going to have to play. Just remember, there are all kinds of Learn Your App workshops all the time that are open to all members, not just premium members. So those WW101s, those Learn Your Apps, those are always available. So if you're nervous, well, I'm going to break it or I don't know what this means, get yourself into some virtual workshops this week and check out those things so that you can get that training. Go ahead, Rikki.
Did you say that you could attend those meetings even if you don't have a meetings member?
The anybody can attend the 101. I'll double check that for you guys.
I'm just curious because that would make sense. But I didn't know if that was something.
So log into your look at workshops and see what it tells you, but it should offer you some of those things that you don't have to be a premium member for those things to be true. So new tools in the app and a new look to the app. Some things that we know you guys have been asking for, like macros. But I think these 0 point foods, that's the headline.
Yes.
You work in media, Erin. That's the headline.
That's the headline.
But don't miss all the details underneath in terms of some of the other tools that we're offering to make this new interview.
I just feel like hearing, hey, those 0 point additions, and especially the headline of potatoes and oatmeal coming in. And well, honestly,
made with potatoes.
All of include and the dark meat too. I mean, actually, all of those are big headlines. And as somebody who makes a lot of food and enjoys recipes, and Michael, I know you do too. Yeah. The ability to import the recipe is huge. Yeah. That's huge.
And all of the recipes that you guys have already created and all the things you saved, they auto update when this changes. Every time we change the plan or add a 0, your recipes already update. Right. Awesome. So when you go back in after your app updates, and I would say on Tuesday, don't delete the app and reinstall it. Go to your app store and see if there are updates, log out and log back in. And don't wake up at 3 a.m. your time and start refreshing. When you go to track your first meal of the day, see if there's a refresher for that. Yeah. It rolls out in waves so that we don't crash the system. Yes. But the goal is that on Tuesday, we would have that rolled out to most of North America.
So can we help you out with something here?
Please.
Can we speak to something, because we as members, we've seen this. We've been through how many changes in the past couple years. Yeah. Just a couple things. If we can remind everyone who's listening. Sure. There are always glitches when something new rolls out, no matter how many times you test. And I speak as someone in the digital field who rolls things out to several 100,000 people. Yeah. Be patient. Be patient. You can do all of the tests in the world. And then once you finally publish to the max audience, there's a different stress test level with it. So, the other thing I would ask of people is don't try to break the plan.
I'm going to take you in the Wayback Machine to when bananas became a 0-point food. Do you remember? And we all bought stock in Chiquita, and we're all like, I haven't had a banana in 27 years, and I'm right. I'm not spending 2 points on half a banana. And then when they became a 0-point food, several members were like, I had 7 bananas yesterday. Don't go out and buy 100 pounds of steak to prove that this is going to up your cholesterol and not work. You're right. If you try to break it, it's not going to work. We want you to work some of these foods back in. So you have a variety of proteins, and you have some additional vegetable choices, and you're putting maybe some oats back in your life in a different way, but don't try to break it. That's not, you shouldn't go out and try to prove to us that this doesn't work. We all have the same goal, which is to get healthier, right? So we should still be thinking about our own health needs. If your doctor has said lay off red meat, then you're not going to put more red meat into your life, right? But pork is still a very low cholesterol, low option if it works for you in terms of your food choices. So there are still ways to learn and to see what happens here. And yeah, it'll be a fun day for everybody when you get the app update to go through and see what has changed, right? Go scan all the things in your fridge and do a little happy dance when you see that something's less points. And like I did yesterday, I had pork chops for dinner, and I was like, oh, there's room for bourbon. That's my happy place, right? I'm not mad about this. So just don't try to break it. And I think there will be people out there who are like, I know this won't work, and I'll show you.
Yeah.
Why would that be your approach?
I remember somebody lost their minds over eating clementines. Yeah. Do you remember that? They were losing. It was all over clementines, and I know that I'm going to eat weight because I have no control when it comes to clementines. Right. And it's like, actually you do, because you've had control all this time. This little change doesn't affect that.
I think I have lived through lots of things being 0 and not, and I have learned some lessons about, like I was on a plan at one point with WW where whole wheat pasta was 0 points on that particular plan at the time. And I stopped measuring pasta when I threw it into the pan. Like I was still cooking for 2 of us at that point. I'd put a whole box of pasta in. And then I would eat a whole bowl, not eat the vegetables, and then be like, I don't know, like I know that my relationship with pasta of any kind is not amazing. The serving size that I would get for the points that I wanted was not amazing. So it was nice to be able to include it, but I was trying to break it, right? I can have a whole box because that's what they said. And I think there are going to be some people who have a different reaction to potatoes than you ladies did, because you were all like, yes, potatoes, right? Spudfest. There are going to be people who are terrified, right? Yeah. I need that food to have points. I can't control that food. Then don't include it in your day. They're options, not requirements. And we still have to all make those decisions for ourselves.
And I think the other thing too is that these aren't free foods. I think that's always a distinction. Because they're like, oh, it's free. Yeah. No, it's a 0 point food. And the whole goal for us should be, for any of us doing Weight Watchers, is we're trying to better our health.
Yep.
And to your point about don't break the system, we're still working on a serving size. What is the serving size of potatoes? What is the serving size of a banana? What is the serving size of oatmeal?
Right.
And we want to lean into that because we're still trying to teach ourselves what moderation looks like.
You don't have to weigh, measure, or track 0 point foods. That's not a requirement. Lots of people choose to. But it's not as important to weigh, measure, track them. But it is important that if we're not going to weigh, measure, track them, that we're stopping every few bites and saying, am I satisfied? Do I need some more? The designation of a 0 point food is to put a bright light on it and say, hey, eat this, right? There's a lot of food offerings. There's a lot of food noise. We're saying, put these things in your cart, choose these at a restaurant. They're going to help you lose weight, help you be satisfied with less calories, essentially. They're full of fiber. They're full of protein. There's a reason that they're on the list. We've just updated the list a little bit because new food science says that there are more things that fit that bill. So you should think of it as a greatest hits album, right? Right. Billy Joel has put out a lot of music. I only need like 7 of his songs, right? And so that's what your 0 point foods list. It's a greatest hits. These are the things you should be looking at over and over and over again and building meals off of, and use the other things sparingly and put it in a round. So
I love that.
Yeah. So I'm not asking you to have 4 baked potatoes and a carton of ice cream tomorrow.
Dang.
We know that's not a healthy way to live. Sorry, Candice. I felt like look, I watched your Thanksgiving cooking video. I feel like I needed to say that. Just wanted to get that out and say that up front. So, yeah. I'm hoping that what people will find is that this gives them a little more room to put some things in their cart they've been leaving out because of prices. If you can buy ground chicken instead of ground chicken breast and you have $2 or $3 left in your cart, it means that you can get another thing from the produce department, or try that spice you wanted to try, or you have room to put the more expensive ultra filtered milk in your cart that's less points, that allows you to be healthier other places. And I think that's what it has really done for me since I've had the opportunity to try this, being able to look at what's in my cart and say, yeah, turkey breast is probably the healthiest choice, but it's $3 more a package. And if I'm gonna brown it and throw it in tacos, does it really matter if they're created more equal than I thought they were?
Yeah.
And I think it also allows many of us, I know there are some other Costco shoppers in the group, these options, like some of these protein options and other things, if you buy in bulk, if you have a large family, some of these are more available in terms of those things where you can get it at a little bit bigger discount if that's something that matters to you.
Mm-hmm. And I think another thing maybe just to add as a reminder too, that before WW launches anything like this, because I can hear some people might go, oh, I can't do, the dark meat, because I know I'm going to gain weight on that. I know I'm going to gain weight, doing this.
Yeah, then don't.
Right. Don't.
Yeah.
And it's already been through a panel of people who have tested it.
Right.
So
you are not our test group.
Yeah.
By the time it gets to you, it has been through clinical trial after clinical trial after clinical trial, tried in groups of people, rolled out in special workshops. We have been testing this and testing this and testing this. So we feel strongly that we've got scientific data as well as trial data that says that this will work for you. We didn't just draw this up. We didn't say, you know what they like? Potatoes. Let's throw those in.
Give them a potato.
Yeah, exactly. We try really hard to make sure that's not the case. So, yeah.
Let me ask you too about some of the macro features.
Sure.
Any thoughts on, because that's kind of a pivot in some way. That's an addition for WW to have, because we've always been point system.
Right.
Are there any ways that people can use it maybe to kind of maximize their WW experience?
Yeah, I think we all often have folks who say, I have been following the plan, I'm within my points, and I'm not losing weight, right? And then we have said, well, try a little more protein, or have you thought about a little more fiber, or have you thought about, or what's your sodium like? And without double tracking, that's not necessarily been possible for them to have that information. So I think if you're in a plateau, or if you're frustrated, or like I had for dinner last night something from a box mix that was still very low in points, but I woke up this morning and I felt like I couldn't bend my fingers, right? Like I was like, clearly yesterday was a high sodium day. We can look at that, and it's easier to pay attention if you want to know. And if you're saying to yourself, I just want to know points, I can't think about another thing, for weeks that are like that, or lives that are like that, great, it's all right there. Don't scroll down and look. But I think it gives you more data points if you're struggling, or if your doctor says, well, what's your sodium intake like? You can just hold the phone up, say it's right here, right? And so it gives you some opportunities, especially, I think a lot of us who are following this plan are doing so because of some kind of medical intervention, right? There's a reason that we're here. And to be able to gather some more of that data, I think is really, really important and really a value add. So again, if it stresses you out and you're going, now you want me to think about protein too? No, only if you want to. But if you want to look at your protein goals and where you're at, then that's there.
So basically, your app is still your app. Your points are still your points.
Exactly.
It's still the same. And you have some new features that you can choose to take advantage of if you so choose.
Yeah. When your app updates at some point this week, in your menu, so when you tap on your picture on the left-hand side, most of the way down, there's a box that says 0 point foods. And it is going to have pictures of different categories, and you're going to be able to tap on lean meats, and it's going to give you an exhaustive list of what is 0, right? So that is step one. Go through and look at all the things that are now zeros and get excited about it. Then go check out the recipes you've built and see which ones have points changed. Then go to your restaurant guides, the places you like to eat, and see what points have changed, right? And start to have some fun with it. It's a lovely distraction from holiday eating to have something new to do. And I think some people might feel differently and think, gosh, why now? Well, why not right now? When is the right time? And I think this is a great time for us to have some things to be excited about.
Yeah.
And some new foods in the house to try.
Well, I'm just thinking, I mean, we've just come through Thanksgiving, and I know for so many people, we had sweet potato casserole. Now, granted, that might be covered in butter and sugar, but if you take out the points of the sweet potato, that can give you a little bit of wiggle room. There's some people who choose not to eat the dark meat of turkey, but that's still their favorites, but they're like, oh, but I don't want to use the points for that.
So let me throw this out there for you. You have brought a rotisserie chicken home at the end of the day, and you have taken the skin off of it. You can pick that whole chicken into one bowl. You do not have to separate the white from the dark because it's 2 different points. It's just chicken. So there's some ease things there that I think make a huge difference too in terms of thinking about how you use a product or how you use things up.
I'm even thinking of going to Chipotle, like my chicken bowl that I get. Now, I will say this. I know that when I have my bowl from Chipotle that has chicken in it, I don't do cheese, I don't do sour cream, but it's rice, beans, chicken, pico, the corn salsa, lettuce, and guac. So I know I'll have my points for the guac. That still is a massive serving. I still need to continue to eat half the bowl, but I love that I'll get some more points back because that's chicken thigh. Right. I'm still making a good choice regardless, but I still need to practice the moderation of the serving size.
So the chicken from Chipotle comes down to 1 point per serving.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, and then you know that there are people who have built Chipotle bowls in the app, right? And you can go out and find them, like somebody else has built it as a recipe, and it will show up under member recipes. So you should just double check to make sure that your Chipotle bowl, somebody hasn't built it for you out there.
Stop it.
Yeah. You can build your favorite meal at Chipotle as a recipe. And
I've never thought about that.
Yeah. If you get the same thing every time, go out and build it and save yourself a step. You can build anything as a recipe, including someplace like Chipotle that has those restaurant ingredients. You can go out and build this.
That is like mind bending.
Genius.
It's been 20. I always feel like the woman in the Titanic that says it's been 90 years. I like it's been 21 years that I've been at this. So
I have a question, Michael.
Yeah.
So, I've kind of lost hope that we're ever going to have the rewards back at the level that we used to, because I was living my best life.
Yeah.
Going to the spa and all those things. So I think I've given up on that unless you have some information for us about the future.
I don't have any better information for you, Rikki. I think it's time for you to start rewarding yourself again. And this is I've had this question a lot. And whenever we talk about streaks or tracking or water, somebody goes, well, I was doing a great job when I was getting wellness wins and I was I don't see a future where that comes back. So if that is something you know is impactful and effective, then you should start putting marbles in the jar for days tracked or for activity goals met. And when it gets full, you should go buy yourself something, right?
Or switch over to the GLP-1 and you can watch the ring close.
You can watch the ring close. Yeah. Ladies, I talked myself into your holiday step bet, and I am not very happy with any of you at the end of every day when I'm walking in place in my bedroom.
You love us.
I cannot lose. I cannot lose. I can't.
We'll take your money. Listen, Michael, I'm already there with you because I only have 3,942 steps and I need to get 8,500. So
yesterday,
I've got to get a lot too.
So on Tuesdays, I do 4 workshops, and I do 2 early in the morning and 2 after work in the evening. And then I had a few other things to do. And I looked down and I was like, I must be at like 5,500 or 6,000. I can do some walking in place. I was at 2,700 steps for the day. I had meetings all day long. It was 9 degrees outside. And I was like, well, this is one of the days I'm not going to make it. But then I woke up this morning and went, did you forget what Friday looks like? You're going to be on your butt all day. And I was like, but I appreciate the mindfulness, and I don't want to not meet the goal. So it's been good. But at the same time, like Monday night, I was marching in place in my bedroom next to my bed, ready to fall in, going, why do I let these women talk me into these things? And I'm going, what if I don't get the money back? Where does that fall in my budget? But
how bad can that
This
be?
means you're giving it to me. That's all.
you're welcome. And you're welcome. And that might happen.
Right.
I was standing at my desk today during a conference call, walking in place, and one of my employees came in and said, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm not sure. I can't answer that question right now."
No, I'm not.
Probably not. But we'll answer that later.
Well, and like we said, especially at the holiday time, this is where you realize how willing you are to push yourself and your health goals and your activity, your exercise out in favor of other things. I am in the same boat, and I'm hosting this one, and I'm like, I can't fail, but I honestly would throw in the towel today. I'm not playing.
Yeah. And it was before Thanksgiving when I did it, and I wasn't thinking about the days that it covered, and I was like, okay, I should do this. I've been, every time you've posted one, I was like, this is the one, and then I'll find some reason to do it. It's like, no more excuses. And then, you're lucky I answered the phone when you called today. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I was like shaking my fist at you. And I have to tell you, I see a lot of folks in your group that are like, I smashed my goal today, 14,000 steps. I marched everywhere I went. And I was like, that's good for you.
Don't worry, we're all making the face though. We're all like, oh, that's really great.
And to all of you out there who just went, I don't like this guy anymore, congratulations. We're super proud of you, and I wish I was you. But I also own and that is not my goal. And will never be. And will never be.
Well, I'm just amazed how many, obviously, we've got teachers and nurses and folks who are on their feet every day. And I'm like, I hope somebody gets you like a pedicure for Christmas, something that you can get off your feet and kind of relax a little. You know, meanwhile, I need somebody to get me some running shoes and the treadmill. Museum marketing director, not in that highly active job position. Not a lot of paintings to chase during the day. So lots of meetings, not a lot of paintings to chase. So anyway, I just want to encourage you guys out there to, if you have workshops as part of your plan, go to a workshop this week. Let them answer your questions, calm your fears. If you can't make it to an in-person or it's not available to you, come to a virtual, any virtual. Find a coach that looks like a good fit for you and come out. If you don't have that access, use 24/7 chat, use the 1-800 number to ask your questions. We expect questions and we're ready to help. Just remember that we are the face of this, so be kind. We will answer your questions. We didn't think it up. We didn't decide on the changes, but we're excited about them and excited to help you. We're ready. We're bracing for it. And I had the honor of being the first workshop in the entire country early this morning to roll this out. So I got to break the whole news. I know. I feel very special. We feel very special. We're double honored now.
I know. But we're excited. But again, I'll be around all week, and we've got some special cooking shows with some of our new 0 Point ingredients. We've got an oatmeal cook along. We've got some potato cook alongs. We're doing Hanukkah cooking later in the month with some 0 Point foods. So there's all kinds of stuff coming up. So you just got to watch for all the special things that are available to premium members.
Okay.
So,
Wow. Well, listen, Coach Michael, we're just so honored that you came on. We're so honored that you picked up the bat phone and took our call.
I am far less nervous this time. When I was here the last time, I was having a little fanboy moment. I was like, I don't know.
No,
but now I'm used to
bedroom,
it.
So
I feel like I'm part of the family now. And if you have any other WW emergencies, I will pick up the blue phone.
Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
You're very welcome. Do you want a dad joke today?
I was gonna say, where's the joke? Where's the joke?
Okay. Hey guys, somebody gave me a flyer about anger management, but I have to tell you, I lost it. Now, okay. I just flew in from a ravioli conference, and Boyardee's arms tired.
Oh my gosh, that's it. That's the kind
Is that
of
the one? That's the
right
one.
there.
That's it.
the
Okay,
one.
we can stop right there.
That's the one.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Thanks for calling, friends. Anytime.
Thank you.
Back.
All right. Well, we hope that this helps you. We've got this hot out of the gate right here. So get ready, get excited. We always say it's about where our mental game is. And remember, nothing's been taken away. Some awesome things have been added. So I'm really excited to get my app and get that update. I hope you are too. And then come over to the Real WW Talk Facebook group. Just search Real WW Talk on Facebook. And if you find some recipes, swap them in. We can't wait to hear from you what recipes, change that you think you might be incorporating more of. I know that I am pumped. I am pumped for the dark meat and the potatoes. That is next level.
Chicken thighs and baked potatoes for everyone. Friends.
Don't play with me.
Exactly.
I will.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have a great week. Of course, our next episode will be coming regularly on time, as this was a special one, but we'll see you on Saturday morning. Bye.
Bye.